Hey YouTube, I'm headed out to my goat yard right now and I am making an assessment of what we need to get ready for goat kids. Sorry, I have to wrestle my way in here sometimes. So we've been watching Polly very closely, and as you can see, her udder is getting good and full. And we've been watching Miriam really closely, and I'm thinking she's looking really close as well. Uh-oh, Ben's sad that I've left him. Check that udder out. Been checking ligaments every day, and if you can see how sunken in she is here, I can still feel just a little bit, but I think we're very close on both of these girls. I can't feel much at all on her either. So we have these two kidding stalls, which is not enough, but we've probably got a couple of weeks before we're gonna be just completely overwhelmed with kidding does. However, I'm pretty sure these two that I just pointed out to you, they could kid here any day now. So today we're going to be cleaning these out and putting down some fresh straw. Just getting prepared to be able to isolate these ladies if they do in fact go into labor. Now, if I had like a definite due date, if I'd been a little more organized in breeding them, like I knew the day they went into heat and a 48-hour window of when they could have been bred, I would probably isolate them, in anticipation for them kidding. However, I don't, because I wasn't that organized, and so I'm not entirely sure. The window's kind of large, and being herd animals, being isolated is just a little bit stressful for them. And also, I don't have a real dynamic of my goats really like being hard on each other. They do some headbutting and they act like goats, but I don't have any sort of like bullying or anything like that. I have no reason to believe that any of their kids would really be in a lot of danger. There aren't any bucks in here or anything like that. So right now we're just keeping an eye on them. We also have the benefit that we're here all the time. Like I'm home almost all the time. If I'm not here, somebody usually is. So it's not like we're gonna have kids on the ground that stay that way for 12 hours, while everyone's at work or anything like that. Along with getting our kidding stalls ready, today I am getting my kidding kit ready. That's everything that I like to have on hand in one bag in a central area, so that whenever I realize that I have a goat kidding, I can come out here and just grab the bag, or I can easily tell the kids, go get me the kidding bag. That way I'm not out here, if there is a need for any sort of intervention, I'm not out here worrying or having to leave. Just got everything ready. It's best to be prepared when you can. Hey, little monkey boy. Yeah, come on. Before we get to our list of to-dos though, first, daily chores, which includes milking the two goats that we already have in milk. What are you doing? What in the world? Okay, so these chicks have been hanging out in the milk stall, and I've been feeding them treats, and clearly they've gotten pretty comfortable. I don't know how much Anna appreciates this, but they want her food. Stop, guys, come on. I got in the house, was straining the milk, and decided to take a look at what I had for my kidding supplies, at which point I realized I'm out of some really important things. So we are headed to the store. Say hey guys. And we're going to go through our list. These guys are going to their friend's house, but my little farm helper, say hey Benny. Hi. Ben's gonna go with me to the store, and we are going to get the things that we need for kidding, as well as a new weed eater head, because my garden rows are looking pretty gnarly. Hey, what are we here to get? Weed eater. A weed weeder? I'm gonna get a few syringes, which I'm pretty sure I have plenty of these, but just in case, I want to make sure I've got these on hand, and I usually will grab a few whenever I see them, just while I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple of nipples. Here's a Pritchard nipple, and go ahead and get one of these lamb nipples too. These are cool because they fit on a lot of different things. These will fit on any sort of like 20-ounce soda bottle. I also have another bottle, but I like to have at least one of each option just in case I do have a kid that won't take something, you know, won't take a certain kind. I like to have options. Hey, you want to hold these? Those are our bottle nipples for our baby goats. You ready? I'm not going to have him hold the needles because, you know, he's 3. I went to CVS because I just need to buy some iodine and some rubber gloves. And one of my biggest pet peeves, like in the history of ever, is whenever you go in a store and they price something like 40% higher than retail is anywhere else so that they can then have a sale and make you feel like you're getting a good deal. And so what I needed there was part of their current like coupon madness where you have to buy 4 to get 1 free. And I don't like to have to buy stuff that I don't need in order to get the stuff that I need at a reasonable price. So I left, came to Tractor Supply, where they price things normally, how they should be. I'm gonna go ahead and get this here because I don't want to have to go to another store. Yeah, this is a 32-ounce bottle of iodine for $15.99, where they were asking $19.99 for an 8-ounce bottle at CVS. Actually, this looks like it will be just fine. It's only 1%, but it says perfect for navel cords, which is what I want this for. So $3.99. Thank you, Tractor Supply. Now, if you do not currently have a goat and milk and you're expecting kids, it is really important to go ahead and buy a bag of milk replacer, because if something does happen to your doe in kidding, you're going to need to be able to give your kid food pretty quickly. And you know, if it's late at night, you can't get to something. Keeping this on hand is really important. Also, they make like colostrum supplements. Now I have frozen colostrum and I have plenty of goat's milk because I do have 2 in milk, so I'm not going to be purchasing that for my kidding kit, but it might be something for you to keep in mind if you don't have something already at your house that will work. Okay, so I'm pulling in my driveway right now. Just went running around getting our stuff for our kids. Jeremiah just called me and said, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I'm about to pull in our driveway." And he said, "Good, because Jambalaya just had 2 kids." We have goat kids! Baby goats are here. You ready to go see? Ben just woke up.
I'm trying to get out.
You're trying to get out? Come on. Let's go see.
Boy. She cleaned them up well, but they're just sitting on the ground and she's off by herself.
Okay, let's go isolate her.
I already did all that.
Oh, okay. You said it's 1 doeling and 1 buckling?
The buckling looks better, but the doeling.
Her udder didn't even look full this morning.
Go look at it now.
Oh my gosh. You ready, Ben? You want to go see the baby goats?
Ben?
No.
Well, good thing I just went and bought the stuff. I was really sure that Polly or Miriam was going to be first. Oh my gosh. That means if Jambalaya, she was definitely pregnant by Mr. Darcy. Oh, we're about to have so many goat kids. Oh my goodness.
Take a guess which is which.
The black one's the boy?
Nope.
Really? Hey, Mama. Oh, she's a wildling. Have you seen them nurse?
No.
Look at that one. That was so cute, and then Lexu like me.
Okay, since the point of this video was originally to tell you what you needed in your kidding kit, here is one thing. You definitely need molasses. We're about to get Jambalaya some water, and I'm going to mix some of this molasses in. This is a good way to give the mamas a little bit of energy after kidding.
Okay, no more jumping.
Okay, so thought I had a week, but of course, you know, I mean, they can go anywhere between 145 and 155 days, so this isn't that big of a surprise. I was expecting these kids around the 7th, and today is the 1st, but we're kind of discussing some things right now and making some decisions that are a little hard to make, but I think that they are what is right to do. So we have decided, kind of here spur of the moment, we didn't have a real plan, but we did know that we were going to be pulling kids this year and bottle feeding them. That is somewhat controversial. A lot of people feel like, you know, leave them with their mom. That's the most natural thing to do, which I agree in a lot of cases that is what's best. However, for us, in the space that we have, and we know that we are going to be downsizing, we have decided to pull the kids because we're not going to be keeping most of them, and so a lot of people prefer to get their kids this bottle baby so that they can you know, bond with them and become close with them so they can handle them a lot. So that's our decision. It's what we've decided, and we have weighed that out. We have done the other way and decided this is what's best for us. One of the things we ran into last year that we wanted to avoid again is that, you know, we had a doe who was about 3 or 4 weeks postpartum, end up getting milk fever, hypocalcemia, and she died. And we did everything that we could, and within 24 hours of her coming down with symptoms, she was gone. She had two bucklings, excuse me, that at that point had not been ever given a bottle. And they, at 4 weeks old, were not interested in a bottle at all. And it was a very, very stressful and emotional situation. I ended up getting one of them successfully transferred over to the bottle, but the other one I simply couldn't. I was spending every hour coming out here and wrestling these goats, trying to get them to eat. And after about the 2nd or 3rd day, I was really concerned that the buckling was gonna die. I ended up giving him to a lady who had a lot more experience than me, and she ended up having to tube feed this goat for, you know, several days. So for us, we actually ran into that situation another time. Another one of our goats got mastitis. She had triplets, and again we had to deal with taking goat kids off that were a month or 2 old and teaching them how to be on the bottle. So we decided this year that we don't want to risk having to deal with that. It was a lot to deal with. Yep, 1 boy, 1 girl. Did you hear about them?
Yeah, that's him. They're cute.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
That's jambalaya. The brown one is the boy and the black one is the girl. We're about to bring them in the house. Yeah. And then I'm gonna put jambalaya on the stand, and Daddy's gonna help me hold her so I can milk her. We have to get her colostrum and give it to the babies.
Let's walk the boy.
He's just tired from being born. You wanna get him?
I don't know which one. It's gonna get them, Dad.
We're gonna take him in and feed him before we hold him, okay? Daddy can hold both of them at the same time. He's got big, strong arms. He can handle both of them.
Hey, guys. The boy one? Oh, they are very soft.
Okay, we're going to take them in, and then we'll come back and milk Mama. Okay, here are both of our new babies.
So cute.
You think so? Careful.
Can I pet one?
With one finger, okay? You can touch one with one finger. Thank you. I got a little sidetracked because of the kids being born, and so I just wanted to wrap up real quick just your basic stuff that you need in your kidding supply bag, and this is what you want to have on hand if you have a goat that you know is going to be kidding soon. I mentioned earlier, you need to have some sort of milk replacer or other goat's milk available, as well as colostrum replacer available, or if you have frozen colostrum. These things are important in case something doesn't go as planned. If you're planning on pulling the kids, obviously you're gonna need these things, but you always need to have a backup plan, because if something does happen to your doe in labor, you need to have you know, an emergency backup. You need to have either some Pritchard nipples like we bought at the store earlier, or some little baby bottles available, clean towels, which, you know, that's one of those things. I have a stack of ratty towels that stay by the back door for farm stuff anyway. You definitely need to have clean towels. You want iodine to handle peel the cord stump of the babies after they're born. You're gonna dip their cord stump in that. You want some dewormer, whatever it is you use to deworm your does, because when their immune system is compromised after giving birth, a lot of times their parasite load gets really high. So you want to deworm your does within 24 hours of them kidding. You're gonna need gloves. A thermometer is good to have. If you're gonna weigh your kids, some sort of scale. A lot of lists will suggest that you have a flashlight in your kidding kit. I always have my cell phone on me, and we have electricity run to our barn. So that's not something that I personally keep, but it might be something to think about if you might not be able to have your cell phone on you with your flashlight, or you might be using it to look something up. Flashlight would be a good thing to have on hand. Also, it really depends on when your goats are kidding. Right now it's really hot outside, so we're having to make concessions for the heat by battling flies and having fans available. If your kids, however, are coming when it's cold, you're gonna wanna have some sort of heat source, whether that be a lamp, you know, you might want to have warm towels available. You know, those are kind of just factors that you're gonna have to figure out based on the time of year you're expecting your kids. Also, molasses, and you want to keep, if you don't already keep, some sort of, you know, alfalfa pellets or some just high nutrient feed on hand to give to your does. We already feed a mix that has a lot of nutrients and that keeps their needs as pregnant and then nursing does in mind. However, we do keep some alfalfa pellets on hand just during this time where they're getting really used to being on the milk stand a lot more, be able to give them a little extra nutrients. So I hope this helps you guys. Obviously it was a really exciting day for us, and we're gonna have lots of new kids here in the next couple weeks, so I'm really looking forward to sharing it with y'all. All right, until next time.